Hey everybody, Kristyglass here. Maybe you've gotten used to the rhythm of the Kristyglass Knits show. I usually sit down and talk about my yarn bomb before I actually go out and yarn bomb it. And just fun fact, in Iceland they call it yarn storming, which I actually think I like the word yarn storming better than yarn bombing. But I came to know about yarn bombing using the term yarn bombing, so it's just in my brain. I went to see the film Yarn. I've talked about it here on the channel before, and there is this Icelandic, speaking of Iceland, there's this Icelandic yarn bomber who will take things like needlepoint and cross stitch like this, and she'll embellish them and add to them, and then go and put it out in nature. She also crochets too, and I learned about nailing the yarn bombs from her. So I've used the nailing technique on wood, and then I wanted to sort of take her inspiration and do my own yarn bomb like this. So my mom was cleaning out my grandma's basement and she found all these great family heirlooms. I've shared some of them here. And one of the things she found was this needlepoint that actually she worked on. She was in a sorority called Chi Omega, and apparently Owl is their mascot. I was not a sorority girl. I really know nothing about sorority life or mascots or anything like that, but I guess this was a thing and it really means a lot to her. But not enough to keep this needlepoint that she found unfinished. So I will show you a before right here. This is how it was given to me. It was almost 100% complete. There was some stuff missing on the top left and some of the flowers needed to be finished. And so I just decided, what do I want to do to finish this? I really enjoy needlepointing on a certain level, but I didn't want to spend hours and hours just doing these rows up top. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And I noticed that she was using, I think this is, there's a different technique for this than needlepoint. I think it starts with the B. I'm not completely familiar with it, but this stuff right here, this is not needlepoint because it's just up and down and side to side and skipping a bunch of the holes. So I thought, well, that's fast enough. I can just add some in there and finish that up. And then I did a vote on my Instagram page. Maybe some of you voted. I picked out 4 or 5 different phrases with a play on words with the word owl. And I picked the one that people voted for the most, which was love with owl your heart. My first choice was give a hoot. Because I just feel like in this day and age, especially in the election season, that nobody cares. Like, what's happening? So I wanted give a hoot. But love with owl your heart won, and that's also a really good message. I happened to be finishing up another project at the time, so I decided to put a big chunky crochet heart here with a sparkly purple arrow pointing to the heart. And then I just wanted sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. So I started with the brown edge, and then I just kept adding to it until I was basically covering up the pre-existing canvas here. One other thing I thought was fun that I added was, so on these canvases they will have words imprinted, like this says Owl Picture, Avon Products Incorporated, distributed New York, New York. And that was too small, but there was another word on it that said front. So I decided to needlepoint the word front because I just thought that was sort of tongue-in-cheek and funny. And I left that exposed so that you could see it. I didn't do the border around that part. So it just became this fun sort of collage-y, embroidery, crochet, needlepoint extravaganza, and I just picked it up here and there and let my imagination run wild. This border is made almost entirely from Lion Brand yarn bonbons. They sell sort of small little skeins of yarn in a packet so that you can use it for stuff like this when you don't want to make an entire sparkly blue sweater or granny square or whatever. You just need a little bit for some crazy project like this. They're just perfect for things like that. So I use bonbons all the time when I just want a little flair, a little sparkle, a little something to add. And then I decided to add my hashtag. I'm not sure if anyone will notice it, but I got this gorgeous sample of silk yarn by Ryn Yarns, R-Y-N at TNNA. They were handing out little samples in a test tube. It's so gorgeous, and I decided to pull some out and try it out, and I put my handle on it, so I put hashtag Kristyglass Knits down there in case anybody sees it when it's out in the wild and they want to snap a pic or send me a little message. So I put it on there too. I'm going to start sort of signing things, I think. I sign other garments that I make with a little stripe or a little strip of sparkly pink yarn, so pink's kind of my thing. So I just wanted to share that Love with All Your Heart yarn bomb, and I will let you know when I put it out in the wild. But this is just, you know, to sort of be inspiration for you. I know you have grandmas and aunts and pieces like this. I know you have them in your attics and your basements, so don't throw them out. Repurpose them into something really cool and share them with the world. Are you ready? Please share what you do with me. I want to see it. I want to see where you put it. And we'll just keep beautifying the world with our fiber arts together. Thanks for stopping in. Bye.